Hello, my name is Loy, and welcome to our program called Qualified Charitable Distributions, or QCD, an opportunity for donors aged 70 and a half and older to utilize IRA distributions for charitable giving, direct gifts to the church. We'll hear today from three church members who will provide comments and perspectives, educate us, and they are professionals either working in the tax and finance industry or as donors themselves, or both. Before we get started, here's a disclaimer. You must see your own professional for all customized tax, legal, and financial advice, which we are not giving here. So first, let's hear from one of our donors, Joan Koppenbrink. Tell us about yourself and what you're doing, Joan.
Oh, my husband Walt and I have been members here at PVUMC since 2017, and I've been active. You may have some of the other people in the congregation at the missions moments. I'm chair of the missions committee, and I'm also I do yoga and church and society. But I think my biggest claim to fame these days is our grandson Jameson, who's been very active in the youth music program and is just graduating from high school, and also Michael in Miami plays pickleball. When I've always been really passionate about charity and donated to causes that I believe in. So when we had to take our mandatory distribution from the IRA, it was ideal because what I could do is just set up so all the distributions that I make for all the donations I made to charity effectively become tax deductible. Because like many people, once your finances become more simplified, we now only take a standard deduction for our standard income taxes. And I'll let Monica tell you more about how that kind of thing works. But anyway, it's been really great for us to be able to do that.
Wonderful. Do you have any other specifics to add?
Well, I would say, number one, it's easy. I have my bank set up for them, just for the donations I make on a regular monthly basis. Every month, those are just automatically dispersed from the bank to the organizations that I've designated. But I also have a checking account associated with that, with my IRA account. So when I have one-off donations, like when I want to donate to the Thanksgiving food box program here, or one of the mission trips or something like that, I can just write a check, and that also, effectively comes out and becomes a effectively tax deductible donation.
Well, thank you, Joan. What a great example and inspiration. And now, next, let's hear from Monica Stern, CPA, tax professional and longtime member. Monica, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and some information on the QCD concept?
Happy to. I joined the church in 2009, and you've probably seen me in the handbell choir. I love ringing in the choir. I have been the past chair of the finance ministry team, and am currently a member of the foundation team. I'm also the community concert coordinator, and I run the slides for worship. So quite a number of jobs at the church. I have a CPA firm here in Phoenix, and I've been in practice for 47 years. And my clients are individuals, small business, and I specialize in churches and nonprofit organizations. The QCD, or Qualified Charitable Distribution, was introduced a few years ago, and it's becoming better known, and I'm so happy about that. It allows the individual to avoid taxable income, which on IRA accounts, all distributions are taxable unless they're a Roth. It's simple and effective as long as it's set up properly, and it nearly always involves tax savings. So what's not to love about tax savings? Another benefit that people may not be aware of is some taxpayers, including myself, if you're in a higher income bracket, you pay more for Medicare. And a lot of people don't realize that. And by doing QCD distributions, it lowers your income that Medicare can assess these additional premiums on. So income tax savings and potentially Medicare savings. And the thing I also love about it is because there's no tax, it really allows you to contribute more to the church. If you're not having to take a chunk out of that payment for taxes, it frees up that cash to be able to contribute perhaps a little bit more. In other words, there's no downside to this. I had yet to have thought of all the scenarios that there might be a downside, and there are none. The key here, and I've had a lot of people misunderstand, is you don't need to itemize deductions to utilize this. So you take the standard deduction, you can do all your giving out of your IRA account. And what that does is it also reduces the amount that your heirs will have to pay tax on, because IRA accounts, when inherited, are taxable to those who inherit them, unless it goes to, say, the church or the church foundation.
Thank you. What, in summary, would you say are the key do's and don'ts for someone who's considering this?
So don't attempt to do this until the day you turn 70 and a half. It is not valid for those under 70 and a half, including me. I cannot do this at this time. It has to be a direct transfer from the IRA to the church. You cannot pull the money out of the IRA and then give it to the church. It has to come directly. And what Joan was talking about is having it come out of a checking account that is tied to the IRA. So that's an important distinction. It can't go to you personally and then to the church. There is a maximum limit per IRA holder of $108,000 per year. So a married couple could actually give $216,000 if they're so inclined to charity through this giving technique. Can you imagine the huge savings that's going to be? It counts towards your RMD, so you don't need to do both an RMD and the qualified charitable distribution, RMD being the required minimum distribution. You will have to provide the church's information, name, address, EIN, and you can get that from the church office if you would like to. And again, you don't need to itemize. So those are the big factors.
Wow, thank you. Excellent, Monica. Very helpful. So 70 and a half, I guess I need to wait about 50 years and 10. Finally, let's turn to Michael Colbert for some background and comments.
Yeah, thanks, Roy. Well, Kathleen and I have been members of PVUMC for over 2 decades. We're well into our 3rd decade, and it's been a blessing to be a member. Kathleen, very involved in all things music, choir, handbell choir, and Paradise Singers. And personally, I'm on my 2nd tour as chair of a foundation. And in between, had a stint as chair of church council, and I've been on Church and Society several times as well, and play pickleball as my claim to fame, as Joan might say. But it's been a blessing to be part of the church, and Kathleen and I actually have 2 separate IRAs, and we've been using the QCD concept with both IRAs, and we've been trying to support both operations and music and the capital campaign with those 2 accounts. I think Joan and Monica have emphasized those benefits very well. For us, it's very easy, no checks to write, and so it's a direct contribution. One of the there are 2 different companies though involved, and one company custodian does the transfer automatically every year now without us having to do anything. The other company though does require paperwork, and so we have to do new paperwork each year to generate that direct transferred PVUMC. But it works out well, and again, we enjoy not having to pay taxable income on those distributions.
So it sounds like it's not too complicated.
It really is simple. We've tried at the foundation. We've come up with a brochure that explains the concept, because a lot of people do think it's more complicated than it is. So we have a brochure, how to use your IRA for good, that you find right as you enter the church office on display.
Excellent. And does the foundation get any benefit from this?
Well, the foundation, other than supporting the planned giving concept, actually, as an example of a benefit for the foundation, on one of our IRAs, we have made the PVUMC Foundation a partial beneficiary. So as Monica said, that the proceeds of the death benefit IRA, if, for example, we leave them to our son, those become taxable income to the beneficiary. So by splitting up the beneficiary, the amount we leave directly to PVUMC will be tax-free to the church. And so we have a partial beneficiary arrangement where our son will split proceeds with the church. So the foundation will ultimately benefit, and that's a great way to qualify to become a member of our John Wesley Legacy Society, which our foundation is sponsoring and promoting.
Fantastic. Well, thanks to you all. I've learned a lot here as well today, and we in the church office always welcome quiet, private conversations if you have additional questions. And thank you to the foundation for ongoing support of the church, both now and in the future.